Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's like 30 degrees out here. If you're on YouTube, you can see me in the window of my car. Let's get started. Lock this car door. Welcome to Speaking Smashinese. And just so you know, Smashinese is a term I created in college that simply means the language of lovemaking or making out or intimacy. College is obviously a place where many people begin to make sure we have a good POV on my camera. Where many of us begin to experiment and find themselves sexually, right? And I was no exception. I also want to add that if you are listening on an audio podcast, I am actually walking or exercising when I record these podcasts. Today, right now, as you're listening, I am walking early in the morning and in the cold. I guess you can consider me your free walking buddy who loves to talk about relationships and family life and personal finances and becoming the best you that you can possibly become. Please consider walking with me while listening, because the fitness aspect of this podcast, in my opinion, just might be the most important part. Today, we'll be talking about why people want love but reject closeness. What is this, chat? Let me start by saying there's a pattern I keep seeing. People say they want love. People say they want connection. People say they want someone real. But when things start to heat up, when they start to get close, they pull back. Skirt! Not dramatically, okay? And to be honest, not even always consciously. When you do this, you're not even always fully aware of it. But they do pull back just enough to keep things from becoming too real. Now, why would anyone do this? Right? Why? You're getting what you said you wanted. Why would you do this? This is what's called closeness avoidance. And this isn't happening because, how can I put it? Because people don't care. It's happening because closeness requires something most people haven't fully learned how to handle. And that something is what we called dun, 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 emotional exposure. Excuse me, guys. I am walking. Let me ask you this. Have you ever wanted someone? And I mean, oh my gosh, coach, WTF. What the freak? You wanted them so bad. Until they started to want you back the same way. Okay, now that's a strange plot twist, right? Be honest now. And if you're listening on YouTube, you know the routine. Tell me all about it in the comment section. Because all of us would like to hear your story. So, here's the thing. Closeness to you, because closeness is good, okay? But to you, if you're guilty of that, closeness sounds good in theory. But in reality, the reason why it only sounds good to you, because closeness brings vulnerability. Oh, what language does he speak now? Closeness brings accountability. Oh, wait a minute. The A word, coach? You're going to bring out the A word? And we're already struggling through this walk? Closeness brings consistency. Closeness brings emotional responsibility. And for many people, that feels like pressure. Now, before we go into what causes you to pull back, let's get a good definition of closeness in the first place. And this is speaking Smashinese. So let me define it in that context. Okay? So there's elements, but let me find it in the context of intimate relationships. Closeness in an intimate relationship is the degree to which two partners, two people, two individuals experience mutual emotional connection, psychological safety, and independence, which can be characterized by me pausing for a second so I can walk across the street safely. Okay. Which can be characterized, I think that's what I said, by open self-disclosure. What is that? This just means sharing thoughts, sharing feelings, sharing experiences authentically. Okay? Authentically, guys. So don't forget the qualifier. Closeness also causes emotional responsiveness. And this just means feeling seen, feeling understood, and feeling valued by the other person. And I shouldn't even have to say it, but closeness assumes feelings of trust and safety. And this just means confidence. Let me make sure I don't make this sound too confusing. Confidence, confidence that vulnerability will not be exploited or rejected. I think that's good. I think that's good. We can all assume what I call consistent attunement is present in a relationship where there is closeness. And I know some of these are going to be strange terms, but consistent attunement just speaks to awareness of and sensitivity to each other's emotional states. Am I missing anything, chat, before we go forward? Let me see. Oh yeah. There's what we call reciprocal investment. And I know for some of you, reciprocal may be a big word, but it just means balanced effort, balanced care, and balanced engagement over time. From a psychology perspective, closeness reflects the integration of emotional intimacy, trust, secure attachment, definitely secure attachment, allowing you and your partner or partners for my polyamorous friends to be fully known, KNOWN, to be fully known while maintaining your individual identities. I hope y'all are listening. Tell me what y'all think about that definition. And remember, I'm out here walking while I'm recording. I may, from time to time, forget some of my prep notes while I'm being assaulted by one of these hills, the weather, mosquitoes, gnats, or bees out here in these streets. So, I'm just saying that to say, if anything I say is ever unclear, just hit me in my YouTube comment section and I'll try to clear it up. Now, I wanted to get those definitions out of the way. So now we should discuss the reasons, or should I say possible reasons behind closeness avoidance. Closeness avoidance often builds from past betrayal. That makes sense, right? It can also be caused by emotional inconsistency growing up. So a lot of crazy things in adulthood can start in childhood. What else? Fear of losing independence. Okay, you feel like if you get too close to someone, you are going to cease being you. You are going to stop being you. What I mostly see it being caused by is a lack of experience with healthy connection, because no one teaches any of us how to be in a relationship. Sure, we're giving advice, suggestions, but nobody teaches us how to be in a relationship. So what happens? The brain creates a strategy. Yep. That's not Satan or an angel speaking when you hear something like, get close, but not too close. Okay? That is your brain. That is you. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's say you meet someone. The energy is natural. The conversation flows. But then, then they make a mistake. They start checking in more. Wait a minute, that's bad? They start being consistent. Hold on, this is what I thought you said you wanted. They start showing real interest in you, and suddenly something inside of you shifts. You start thinking things like, this is moving too fast. This is moving too fast. I need space. And even though you are super, super into this person, you part your foul lips and say to yourself, I don't want to lose myself in this relationship. But wait, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing bad happened, right? Nothing bad happened. Nothing negative happened. No red flags popped up. Come on now. Nothing actually went wrong. You don't understand that? What'd you say? You speak Spanish? Oh. Nada salió mal. Nothing bad happened, people. So, what an unseasoned macaroni and cheese happened then? Closeness just became real. That's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. Closeness just became real. Let me ask you guys this. How do I want to say it? Do you confuse emotional safety with emotional pressure? This is what I mean. Imagine you're in a situationship that feels uncertain. And shameless plug here on another episode titled Situationship versus Friends with Benefits. I get more into the difference between those two and what a situationship is. But anyway, you're in a situationship that feels uncertain, right? The person you're talking to or seeing or dating, however you say it, where you're from, they text you inconsistently. Plans with this person are always unclear, or let's keep it real, non-existent. Let's keep it real, not enough. This is one of those relationships where you really, really are lost. You don't know where you stand. And somehow, you are more invested in this bootleg relationship with this person who clearly doesn't want you. But why? Because to you, uncertainty, inconsistency, bullcrap feels familiar. And familiarity often feels like comfort. This is what feels good to you. This is what feels normal to you. Let me cross the street, guys. I'm gonna pause for a minute. Okay. Let's, got a helicopter above us. Let's dig a little deeper into the weirdness of what I just said. Or is Paradox may be a better word. Here's the contradiction, ladies and gentlemen. People say they want peace, right? But respond more intensely to chaos. Not because chaos is better, but because it activates or triggers that first need, right? Attention. It activates or triggers curiosity. It activates or triggers, and probably most addictively, emotional highs and lows. Okay. Emotional highs and lows. Little old, insignificant, genuine, harmonious closeness, on the other hand, y'all know. Remember, closeness, the good character in this story, the protagonist, the good guy. Closeness is steady. And steady can feel unfamiliar or even boring to some people. Let me ask all of you walking with me right now. You guys are walking with me, right? Even if you're home, get up, walk in place. This is also the secret intent of this channel, to build a community with some of the healthiest people, mentally healthy people on the internet. Okay? So please consider, while you're listening, learning, while you're on this podcast, please get up and walk. Okay? Please get up and exercise. I'm doing it. It'd be really cool if you did it with me. So, I digress. Let me ask all of you, walking with me now? All right. I'll stop harping on it. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever pulled away from a person or a relationship that you knew was right for you, that you knew was healthy, because it didn't feel intense enough? You pulled away because ratchetness and drama did not live at that address. Ratchetness and drama were not present in that particular relationship. Now, this happens more than you think, because there is let's call it a shift in dating behavior. Thanks to social media and a few other factors, let's keep it real, modern dating has reinforced this pattern. Okay? You know what's good for you, but you abandon it. That pattern. Okay? Just to restate what we're talking about. Now, it's April, even though it's 30 degrees outside in the DMV, where I'm recording from. That's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. For those of you that don't know, but I'm recording this in 2026. And people now want to keep their options open. Excuse me. Now, this may be because they're constantly looking for or waiting for a better option. More and more people want to avoid defining relationships. It's okay to be in a relationship, but let's not define it yet, coach. Yeah, let's not do all that. And have you noticed way more people want to delay commitment? Have you noticed that? Have you been guilty of that or a victim of that? And I'm seeing, especially with women now, more and more people want to protect their independence at all costs, which creates connection without depth. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, okay? We're just talking here, and remember, everything I'm saying is all in love. I'm just a walking buddy, okay, who happened to study psychology. But all of these things create connection without depth. The people I just described are messing things up because they still get into relationships, but the relationships are shallow and useless, so their partner gets damaged, and the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again. Are you guilty? Or have you been a victim of this type of person? Have you been victimized in this type of relationship? Let's say you're out there dating and you finally meet someone who is clear with their intentions and clear, in your opinion, with how they feel about you, right? They are consistent as crap and always on point. And you know what they want and how they feel about you because they are super, super intentional. They say what they mean. They show up when they say they're going to show up. And instead of relaxing and accepting this apparent blessing from Jesus himself, you start looking for what's wrong. What the hell? Because your system is used to figuring things out, earning attention, right? What I gotta do to get attention from this person? And navigating uncertainty. You are familiar with walking in the darkness. You are familiar with inconsistency, not being the recipient of consistency. You can also ask yourself this to help figure all of this out. Am I rejecting this person, or rejecting the level of closeness that this person is offering? Look, guys, closeness isn't the problem. Unfamiliarity is the problem. When you're used to inconsistency, when you're used to distance, when you're used to emotional guessing, closeness can feel like pressure. Closeness can feel like a loss of control. Okay? I know, it sounds crazy. I agree with you. But I'm just the messenger, guys. Closeness can even feel like risk. How crazy is this? Imagine that. You're actually afraid of the person who is perfect for you. You are afraid of the person who is likely best for you. And let's keep it real. Closeness is the thing you always dreamed of and said you wanted, isn't it? Didn't you tell me that? I don't know if you can see, guys, some people are scraping ice off of their windows like I had to do to come out here and walk. And it's almost May. Anyway, as always, or at least I try to, when I feel smart enough to do so, let me give you some practical closeness hacks. Oh, Lord, why did he throw the word practical in there? It's okay. Just hear me out. We first need to learn how to recognize closeness avoidance. Are you guilty of losing interest when someone becomes consistent? Answer that question. We're starting to get somewhere. Do you strangely, oddly, weirdly, mysteriously feel the urge to pull back when things feel good and stable in a relationship? Answer that, and we are getting somewhere. Are you guilty of overanalyzing healthy behavior? Not the stupid 40-year-old who wants to become a rapper type behavior, but healthy, productive behavior. And be honest, do you prefer uncertainty over clarity? Wow, coach. I definitely do not want to live like that. When I find a good person and I have a healthy connection, how do I stay present in that? Because that is not who I want to be. How do I not mess it up? Well, first of all, don't create problems where no problems exist. Okay? Because when you do that, what is that called, chat? That's called self-sabotage. You also have to let consistency feel unfamiliar, okay? Because if you're not used to it, it's going to feel unfamiliar. You have to let consistency feel unfamiliar without rejecting it, okay? Because remember, unfamiliarity is not necessarily bad, okay? I want you to focus on your attitude and focus on your behavior. Do not present an attitude or, let's just say, negative or counterproductive behavior based on imagined outcomes because of something you heard on social media or something you read or saw on a Netflix film, okay? Because what you've seen happen to someone else, you imagine that it's going to happen to you. Don't assume you know what's going to happen. So you start acting like a B-I-T-C. You finish the spelling early. You're preparing to act like one of those. You're setting up. You're rehearsing. You're rehearsing for it. And lastly, allow things to develop without forcing distance. Don't distance yourself because you start to catch feelings for a person. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Now, of course, start small, right? Do not rush emotional depth, okay? Communicate when you feel overwhelmed. It's okay. Let your partner know that for you, it's going to sound crazy to them, okay? But let them know that things are going a little too good. It doesn't even feel right for me to say that. But let them know that things are going a little too good and you might need some time to process it all. They will look at you like you're crazy. But remember, they like you as well. So I think it should be okay to be honest with them. And look, it's okay to recognize your patterns without judging them. In other words, when those protective walls start to come down, it is okay to recognize that, but don't start analyzing why you are lowering the walls. In other words, when you start feeling good, feel good. Okay? How is that? Is that simple enough? Feel good. Let it ride. Okay? This is probably a good thing. And I shouldn't have to say this, but stay long enough to see consistency play out. Can you do that? Give that beautiful, gotta throw that adjective in there. Give that beautiful other person a chance. But all of this requires balance, right? None of it matters without balance. So, what is he talking about? Balance. Maintain your routines and your identity. Don't isolate from the other person just to make yourself feel in control of the situation. Understand that closeness does not equal loss of self. And choose connection intentionally. And for my walkers out there, what's up, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are on dating apps and or right now, as we're speaking, dating in real life, especially new to some possible relationship, don't mistake inconsistency for excitement. Don't mistake inconsistency for a good thing. Be sure to value clarity early. It might benefit you to avoid over-investing in emotionally unavailable people. What do you think? I'm just saying. IJS people. These are not the people to give yourself to. Move away. Depart from. Hey, why not? Ghost those type of people. Give the consistent people a real chance. Give the consistent people a real chance. At the end of the day, wanting love is easy, but allowing closeness, something you control, by the way, is the real work. Because closeness asks you to be seen. Not partially, not strategically, but fully. So the next time you feel the urge to pull away from a really good person, ask yourself, is this not right or just not familiar? See the difference? Let me know, if you can, how you received today's show, if it resonated with any of you. Again, I'm your host, Coach Sumo, on the Speaking Smashinese podcast. I hope to walk with you tomorrow as we all try to figure out this thing called life. Ciao, guys.